We're live. Good morning for those of you, depending on what time you're on. This is my time is actually 11:21 in
Good
California time.
afternoon.
Good afternoon. So welcome to Exploring White Walls and High Ceilings with Scratch and Microbit. Uh, we are presenting with you today, and my name is Rudy Escobar. I'm a STEM coordinator at Stanislaus County Office of Education, and I'm also a Microbit champion. And there's my email and my Twitter handle if you want to follow me. And then with me, I have Daniel. You want to introduce yourself?
Yes, thanks. My name is Daniel. I'm from Mexico. I'm the community leader for Microbit here in the region, and uh, we're going to present an amazing topic for you. So you can contact me with my info in the swap card.
Thank you. So with us, we also have our spotlight guests. And I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Debbie. I program video games. I founded a STEAM center to teach kids to do the same. Nice to meet you, Debbie Berlin. Game Dev Debbie. Let the fun begin. I'll put my link to my website in our chat.
Greg and Mahmoud.
It's hard to follow that. Hi, my name is Mahmoud Alamir. I am the elementary school curriculum specialist in the computer science department at Chicago Public Schools.
Hello, my name is Greg Beutler. I am the computer science teacher at Woodside Prairie High School. Thank you.
So thank you so much. And all our participants, thank you for being here. And please bear with us because we have multiple platforms moving around. So you're going to see my head moving all over because of all the screens I have on. But we'll try to be monitoring the chat and try to work with you as much as we can. So just to give you the goals that we have for today, we're going to give you a quick overview of Microbit and how you can connect to Scratch with Microbit. I will ask you to be very patient, please, because we know that there's issues sometimes with Microbit, and in an hour we can't really do much. But we're going to try to do as much as we can, and we're going to try to support you on that. We're also going to explore video sensing and using Scratch and using Microbit. And then we're going to move forward, giving you some Scratch and Microbit ideas with accessibility. And I was actually in a session prior to this one where they gave us a really good session about how to work with deaf students. And that even gave me more ideas of thinking about what else you can do with Microbit. And then we're going to leave you off with some additional resources. We have a game also that we want to show you, but depending on the time, we might not finish, and we're just going to show it to you how it works, and then we'll share with you the code for you to be able to make it on your own. Go ahead, Daniel. We can't hear you.
Sorry. We're going to start with the system checkup. Are you sharing the screen, Rudy?
Yes, I am. I should, right? Or maybe not.
Sure.
Oh, sorry about that.
No. I can see that.
I can see it right now. You want to share, or you want me to share?
Okay, I start because yes.
Yes, you start. Go ahead and share. Go ahead and share.
Hold on. Okay, let me. There is. What are you watching right now?
We see your screen. We see your screen.
The slides system
Yes,
checkup.
we see the slides. Yes, we see it.
Excellent. Okay, so we're going to start with this section of the presentation because I think that this is what most of us have problems doing there. Okay, sorry about that. So it's really easy because Scratch has already prepared a very good tutorial in this link, scratch.mit.edu.micro/microbit. So everything we need is already there. And there are only a few steps that we have to do just to run our microbits with Scratch. So actually it's really straightforward. And we prepare the FAQ that you can check later. This slide is going to be available on the swap card. You can review this information. So I hope that people that are with us have already done this. And if you haven't do that, I'm going to show you what we have to do is this page. So you have to install Scratch link, then you have to download the program to your microbit, and that's it. With those two steps, you can start working with Scratch and microbit. The Scratch link is the most, for example, if you're with Chromebooks, you have to do that just to work with the app. And if you're working with Windows, that's what I'm doing. You have to be sure because when you download the hex file, it comes in a zip file. So many people make the mistake and copy this file to the microbit, right? So you have to unzip it and then copy to the microbit. That's it. With that, you can start working with Scratch. You have to have Bluetooth because we also have a lot of issues with people that it doesn't work, but they're working in computers without Bluetooth. So you have to have Bluetooth working on your computer, on your laptop. So when you copy this file, your microbit will start to show a number on screen. I'm going to show that a little bit later. And it's really easy, right? Okay.
Daniel, we want to give a quick pause, just a very quick pause for everybody to just kind of connect and make sure that the ones that are able to connect, to give them a little bit of time to connect. And maybe you want to show them this part where they have to connect to their device, because I can see your screen.
You can see my screen?
Yeah, I can see where you're trying to connect to the microbit.
Okay, okay. Oops.
For those of you who are using a PC, make sure that before the step that you're seeing here with Daniel, make sure that Scratch link is turned on first before you try to find the microbit.
Okay. You know, it always happens. You try it several times and then at the event it doesn't work. So this is what you're going to find when you are working with microbit Scratch. This is what you will find. You will the computer will search for your microbit and then it will appear here, and you have to type the number that is showing on the microbit and click on connect, and that's the way that you connect microbit with Scratch. And now you will see this mark here that shows that it's connected. Before doing this, we have to add the extensions that we have here, microbit. So you can use the blocks and you can have the option to connect your microbit to Scratch. Okay. For the example that we're going to show now, we will need another extension that is video sensing, that we can find it here too. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through this first example of what can you do with microbit and Scratch, and I hope you like it because we can do a lot of things. Hold on. Something is disconnecting my microbit. Sorry about that. Too many screens open, I think. Sorry, you want to say something while I troubleshoot this, please?
Sure.
Explain
Do you want
about
me to
the
actually, I can
example.
actually show it on, I can show it on mine if you want.
Oh, okay. Well, I think we have to
You
do it
walk
with
me
yours
through
because
it.
mine.
Yeah, you walk
Yes,
me
please,
through it and I
because
can do it on mine.
okay, because mine's not working. I tested it several times in the morning and I'm having some issues right now.
Okay, so go ahead and stop sharing screen and you can walk me through it and I'll share it on mine.
Okay, yes, please. So you don't waste time on this.
So just stop sharing screen.
Yes, there it is.
Now let me actually share screen. Okay. Here we go. Can everybody see that?
Thanks.
Okay, so we got
Okay,
it.
we're going to try this is video sensing with Scratch. So what we're going to do is to add some small buttons on the screen that we can touch with our hands, moving ourselves in the screen through the camera, right? So first of all, we are going to add, well, we don't need Scratch, that sprite, we can delete that sprite, first of all, so we have to start clean. And then we add the extensions. As we mentioned before, there at the bottom, there are the video sensing extension and the Scratch.
We have them both. They're both there.
Okay, okay. So now we're going to add a sprite, a new one, just a simple, maybe a circle, a blank one.
This one?
Okay, that one is fine. Right, so when we touch that button, we're going to make something appear on the microbit LED. Okay. So we need to add first of all the when video motion. Oh, it's too small. Help me, please read. I can read your.
Okay, so when video motion is greater than 10.
Yes, when video motion is greater, we're going to maybe show a little face or a text. I prefer the happy face because it's faster to see.
So you want me to go to the microbit?
Display, yes, go to the microbit blocks and then display the heart. Just leave the heart because it's faster than like that. So when the Scratch detects motion in that button, it's going to display a heart on our microbit. Okay, great. So now we can try that, Rudy, just like it will work just like that. Okay. Without the transparency mode. I think you have to stop your camera.
Oh, yes, you're right.
Because if we're using our camera and then in the Zoom meeting, then Scratch is unable to use it. Oops. So you can use camera in both in two places at a time. You have to reload.
I have it off, but right now it's not working.
I think you have to exit and re-enter because it doesn't catch the camera at the enter, or maybe refresh the web page. Hey, that's a good example because that issue always happens when we are teaching in Zoom and we don't stop the camera before starting video sensing.
There we go.
There it is. You have to refresh. So when you move and touch the button, you have to see that heart on your microbit. I don't know if you can show the microbit too.
I don't know if I have mine ready.
Do you connected the microbit before?
Yes, it's connected. Oh.
No, I think you didn't connect it before. Okay, there it is. We have to connect the microbit.
It's because I reloaded. Okay, there we go. Okay, so here it is.
Okay,
So if
there's the heart. Okay, we don't put reset clear display. Maybe beside the display heart, you can add wait 2 seconds and then clear display. Go to control.
give me 1 second because it's disconnecting. I think it's disconnecting because we have swap card open, Zoom open, so we're running out of bandwidth.
Maybe control and then add a wait, maybe 2 seconds. And then on microbit blocks, clear display. Like that. So
Okay.
you touch the button, then we're going to show to see a heart, and then we stop showing the heart for 2 seconds. Now you click on the reset button on the microbit.
I did.
Yeah, so that's why it's disconnecting.
Oh. Okay, now we're ready. Ready?
Okay,
So touch. Happy.
there's a heart 2 seconds, then goes away, and if you touch it again or you move something, maybe your
There
head
it
is
is. I
touching
can't
the
move.
logo.
I have to stay steady.
Yes,
And then now touch.
there he is.
There it is. Happy.
Right now you can add several buttons. Maybe you can add other figures. I don't know. You can use your imagination there and combine this feature like video sensing with your microbit with the previous projects that you have already done. I don't know. What are you thinking right now that you can do with this example of bringing scratch from the screen to a physical device like microbit, right? And using the camera to control what's going on the microbit, right? So there is a studio that we would like to share with you, and we hope that we can see several examples that you can make in this. Sorry, I want to go through the chat in a few minutes to answer some questions. So please share in the studio examples of what you're doing or maybe ideas. This, as you can see, I use only a couple of blocks. It's really easy, really simple. I hope you can connect microbit and start using the video sensing feature to make some projects. So please share in the studio some of examples. We're going to go back to the studio later to see what you are showing.
So we want to give you want to give you about 5 minutes just to explore and for us to slow down. Our idea is that every time the activities that we're going to show you today is for us to show you the basics and then for you to be able to explore for a bit, play around, and then upload to your studio some of the things that you've done. We also will have our guests share their screens and share what they have done.
Great. So I think we have to move forward because we have 2 more examples. The next examples, I guess we are going to show them very fast, Rudy.
Yeah, I can move to this one. I can move to this one. This shouldn't be a problem.
Excellent.
Okay. So can everybody see my screen still?
Yeah. Yes. It's
Okay.
fine.
Okay. So one of the things that we thought about to show you is, and there's something that has been in my mind recently, is thinking about how do we work with how can we use the microbit in Scratch in the features of Scratch to be able to help students with some type of accessibility or some disability that they may have. And like I mentioned a little bit ago, the session prior to this one, I realized that there's some more things that we can do with it. So we would just want to show you the basics of what you can do with microbit in Scratch. So if you are doing it with me, I'm going to show you on my screen how we can do something with Scratch and something that can help you out with some accessibility or any ideas that come up. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually get rid of my cat there. You could use the cat if you want to, but I want to use something different. I am going to add a sprite, and I'm going to add Abby to be our person here to be with us. And I am going to go and add my extensions again. And for this one, I am going to use the microbit. So I'm going to connect my microbit. And I'm going to use the extension text to speech. So I'm going to pause there. Going to give a very quick seconds just for you to catch up if you're not there. And I noticed that I don't have my video on. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so now that we're there, I'm going to start putting this code in. So we're going to start with our microbit. So what we're going to do is we're going to say to our microbit, when and the button A is pressed, we want it to do something. Now we're going to need to develop a variable here because we're going to actually have something that we want it to happen. So we are going to go to variables, and we're going to make a new variable. And on that variable, we're going to call it counter. And I click OK. Now I have my counter variable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my counter by 1. Now in a minute, I'm going to explain to you why I'm doing that. But I'm going to just put that there. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate. If you're familiar with just duplicating the block, or you can actually come back here. I'm going to just duplicate it. It's easier for me. I'm going to duplicate this block. And I'm going to make this when button B is pressed. Then I want it to do something. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some if statements on the control. And I'm going to put one right under. And by the way, if I'm going too fast, please let me know. I can't really see the chat, but somebody can let me know if I'm going too fast. But I'm going to try to show you the way I actually do this. I tend to duplicate a lot of blocks instead of copying everything from the side. So if you think I'm going too fast, let me know.
I am
So
the
for
chat
here,
ready. Oh, sorry, I am the chat ready. Anything that shows up, I will tell you. Okay.
Okay, thank you. So here on the if then, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an operator, and I'm going to add this operator here, the one equals to 50, and I'm going to add it to my if then, and I'm going to change my 50 to 0. I'm sorry, not 0, 1. And now I'm going to add my variable counter to the other piece. So now I'm saying if counter is equal to 1, I want it to do something. So what I wanted to do is I wanted that when the counter is equal to 1, I'm going to use my text to speech, and I wanted to say here, I'm going to put it here. I'm going to say I wanted to say heart. But I also want my microbit to display the heart. So I'm going to go into my microbit blocks, and I'm going to find my heart here. And I'm going to put it right there. I also want Abby to say something. So I'm going to go to looks, and I'm going to pull the say hello right under it. And I'm going to say heart. So now I have when button A is pressed and B is pressed, when the counter is equal to 1, it's going to speak heart, it's going to display heart in my microbit, and it's going to say heart. Abby's going to say heart. Now I'm going to replicate this because I want to put at least 3 different words. So I'm going to just duplicate this. I'm going to put it right here at the bottom. And I'm going to change my counter to 2. And on my speak, I'm going to say happy. And instead of having my blocks of happiness, I'm going to put it in my happy face. And I'm going to say happy. And the last one I'm going to do, I'm going to duplicate my screen, my blocks, and I'm going to add a 3. And on that third one, I'm going to put in sad. I'm gonna do the same thing here on my say, and I'm gonna change my happy face to sad face. Now, for me to be able to get this to work and to come back to replicate that counter, I do need to go to variables again, and I'm going to set my counter set my counter to 0, so that way it actually starts counting again. So hopefully I did press on share screen with audio. If you can't hear, let me know. But I'm going to now use my microbit, and I'm going to press my A button once and my B button. And it says heart. Did everybody hear that? No? Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing screen, and I'm going to reshare screen with audio because I think that's the problem. So you should be able to hear it now. So I'm going to press A, button B.
Heart.
Did everybody hear that? Okay, good. So now it says heart. And on my microbit, you can see the heart. So now I'm going to do it twice. So I'm going to do A, B.
Heart.
Sorry, A, B.
Happy.
And now it says happy. And you can see it on my screen, but you don't have a happy face. You don't have a happy face. And if I do it A, B,
Sad.
it'll be sad, and it'll give a sad face on my microbit. So this is just to give you some examples of how you can use the microbit in Scratch to be able to support. For example, a student cannot really say much of the words, but they know how to press these buttons, and they understand the 1 button, 2 button, 3 button, that they can actually press those buttons to be able to express themselves. So with that, as I mentioned, we want to give you some opportunity to play with this and see what you can do with it. And I think we do have time for our spotlight guests to show us what they've been doing.
Who wants to go first? Great. Whoa.
Who do we have right now sharing?
It's Debbie.
Hi, can
Okay.
you all see my ballerina moving around on the stage?
Yes.
Wonderful. So I wasn't able to get the video sensing, but I was able to experiment with some other cool features of our microbit. So one thing I did is that when I press the A button and the B button, I have some motion. So my ballerina gets to go back and forth, just like those old Nintendo and PlayStation controllers we love so much. And if I tilt my microbit, well, then she starts rotating. Also, if I hit the space bar, I really like the display features and that I was able to make my own. So now, if you can see my microbit, it's saying hi. Hi, microbit. Hi, Scratch. Yay! It's saying hi. And what does the button do? Well, if I click on it, it celebrates with me how much I love microbit, and the button loves it too. And of course, on my microbit, it's throwing up hearts because microbit loves Scratch and microbit coding together. This was so much fun.
Thank you, Debbie. I want to also encourage you to please go ahead and upload your projects if you're trying something out or if you're testing something out. Go ahead and try it out and add it to our studio, because the more we collect studio there, the more we can in the studio, the more we can support each other in different projects. Any of our other spot guests want to share?
I have a project that I can share.
Sure, go ahead.
Excellent.
Okay, so this is a remix of a game that I had made in the past, and I have it muted, but I remixed it just to add in this microbit component, because the way that you used to play it is you would press the up arrow key and the character would move up, and you would press the down the down arrow key and the character would move down. But now, if you press the green flag, the way that I'm controlling it is with my microbit. So when I'm tilting it up, the character is moving up, and when I'm tilting it down, the character is moving down. And I think if I wanted to really add another dimension to it, because in the microbit blocks, let me just stop this and take a look inside. Here in the microbit blocks, it also
Wow.
has tilt angles, and I'm just wondering if there's a way that I can make it move even faster depending on how far up or down I'm tilting it. So I think that's what I'm going to be playing around with next. But this I think really added a new dimension to being able to create these games and these projects.
Thank you, Mahmoud.
Yes, for sure.
Uh,
And for example, you can make some cardboard steering wheel, for example, and you can start creating with the microbit anything that you can imagine. So that's a great example, the tilting feature.
Great, thank you. I'm seeing in the chat, Carrie is getting a 504 error every time they drag the X file. So Daniel, maybe you might support her on that. So Greg, do you have anything you want to share with us?
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, now let me share my screen. So here's my project. Okay, can everybody see that?
Yes.
And basically, the way this works is that I have my microbit showing, and basically if I tilt it around, I'm using the pen function so I can draw squares, right? And so if I just tilt it, I'm drawing different squares. As you can see in the code here, basically I'm drawing squares here. And now that's the cat, right? I'm drawing squares. I'm using the square function. Repeat 4, turn 90, move 50 steps, and then change the color. So I've got different color squares. I also have a balloon that I'm using the A and B buttons. So I'm going to press the A button and the balloon appears. And then if I press the A button again, the balloon disappears. And so I'm using the buttons to play, and I can use the B button to just show it. And then the A button will change the color and then delete and then show it up again. So that's another function I can use with using just the microbit buttons, as well as using the tilt function and some code. My project's already in the studio, so you can play around with it. It's called Hide Balloon. Any questions?
Yeah,
on
so yeah, we see on the chat that they were asking if you can zoom in, but you can actually go into our studio and you can actually go in there, and the project is in the studio.
Yeah, if you go to the studio and look for Hide Balloon, I think that either that or my number, the last 3 digits are 950. It's fairly early in the studio. And so I'm just using the tilt and I'm redrawing. So we make this larger. You can see that I could just redraw different squares. And obviously you can, with the pen function, you can make whatever shapes you want. I'm just making it tilt, move into a random spot, and then draw another shape.
Thank you so much, Greg. So we are actually making good time. So we're gonna give you about 2 minutes just to kind of process so far what you have and think about it. And please, if you can put something in the studio so we can see those things that you are trying out. It's hard when we are on a webinar style because we can't really talk to you or see you. So it's very important for us to be able to see on studio what you are doing if we're actually being successful and sharing these ideas with you so you can try them in your own classroom. As you are getting into just processing time, I am going to shift us into one last part of our presentation today, which is a little bit more complex. Debbie kind of got us started with that, and as well as Mahmoud. So we're going to get us moving a little bit forward on that. So let me share my screen. Share sound. Everybody see my screen? Yes. Okay, good. So I have this game here that we're gonna try out. I'm gonna start with showing you the game, and then we're gonna actually look into the code and walk through the code of how it was written. And we have all the things that you need in the slides that we have, so you can walk you through it. or you can actually remix the code. So I'm gonna start with the game. Can everybody hear that? Oh, hold on, give me 1 second, because this is not gonna work because I haven't gone inside. Hold on, let me go inside real quick. I need to connect my microbit. Got that I have changed this. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna do it through this one. Okay, so we're gonna start here. Let me get going here. There. Okay, so now I'm gonna get it started. At this moment, my microbit is giving me instructions. That's why it's saying to go right there. It's telling me to look down at the microbit because it's giving me instructions of what you're gonna do. So move button A, move button B. It's really walking me through the instructions. Once the microbit finishes giving me the instructions, then it can start. Those who are as old as me, you know what this game reminds you of?
Nintendo time!
And even Atari time. I used to play this in Atari. So I'm
I
gonna
love the
let it
sounds of
bounce, and I'm gonna let it go around. Okay, so that's giving you an idea of how we can use microbit. I got the instructions in microbit. Then I started playing. I'm using the button A and B to be able to move the palette, and then the ball and everything else is actually working with the different sensing things that Scratch has. So how does that work? I want to kind of just walk you a little bit through each part of the code. I will put this in the studio. It's also on the slides, but I want to kind of show it to you just real quick, and then just let you play with it. Because if you can modify this game, or if you can modify any of the things that we've done today, because we want this for you to take it out today to your classroom and use it, coming up or whenever you see it. So some of the things that we've done here, the first thing that you notice that I did here, I have the sprite, and I made the sprite just by going into customs. And I did a background, and then I put in the text, and then I did an arrow. And that's the first thing that you saw on the code. Then for that code, what I did is I actually had this piece here, and I'm not going to spend too much time. I'm telling you. Let me see if I can zoom in. Nope. No, that doesn't help. There we go. Everybody see that? Okay.
Yes.
So you have, when it's clicked, you're gonna start with the front layer. So that's why it came to the front. And then you're gonna start the score. And then it tells you what to do. This is why it took a while to start. And then it's gonna broadcast start. Once it broadcasts start, then you can go back to the code, and it's gonna start a script. And the script is really just to play the sound. I uploaded these sounds, and the way you upload these sounds to Scratch is you go to sounds, and you go here to the button right here on the bottom, and you go to the upload sound. And all those sounds, I actually put them there for you on our links, so that way you can upload the sounds to your computer, and you can use those same sounds. And so those are all the Atari games that you heard, Nintendo games that you heard. Okay, and then the next one is the ball. The ball is what we use on the code for the ball. Again, we use a sprite that you can find here for the ball. And that one it uses this type of code. But one thing that I want to actually put emphasis on is the touching piece, because these come from the sensing block. And what it does is that if it touches the line, it'll sense it. If it touches the palette, it'll sense it, and it'll do some type of task when that happens. If that's what you saw when the ball touched the palette, it did a sound, and it actually kept on counting. When it did not, it actually when it skipped it, then it goes to game over. Then we have the palette. The palette uses the same idea, but this one we have the microbit. So we're saying if button A is pressed, then we're going to change X by 10, by -10. I'm sorry, because we're doing it in the X-axis. In the case of Mahmoud example, he was actually doing the Y-axis, but we're doing the X-axis. So there's different things that you can do with it. I really like the idea that Mahmoud said. I wonder if we can do this in a 3-dimensional way. It's going to be cool. So, or at least a 2 planes. And then some of the things that I want you to notice here is that we added this code right here on the top where it says when receive game over, which is going to be a broadcast, then a stop all scripts on the sprite. So that means that everything stops and then it's over. And lastly, you have here that when clicked, just keep that line there. And the reason is because once it goes into here is when the game over happens. And that's what I wanted to show you on that. The other thing is that I had a backdrop. In this backdrop that it's on the stage, if you're familiar with backdrops, you can get those at the same way as you do the sprites. You click here on the search. And I can't remember the name of the backdrop, but it's something right here, Neon Tunnel. It's called Neon Tunnel. You can put it on there. And the code that we use here is when receive game over, just display an X, and it's going to do an X in the microbit, and it's going to play the sound. And that's the one that you heard the last sound as it happened. And this one just carries it over and then it waits a little bit of time. And you're going to see that it's going to say game over on the microbit. So that's a very quick, fast run of it. But we are going to put this in the studio. And also, I hope you enjoy at least the things that we're showing you. And a lot of ideas are coming up in your head about how to use this. I want to give a little bit of time for our Daniel or a spotlight guest to, if you have any comments or any thing to add to this part.
They asking about the age. So
Good
recommended
question.
for the use of microbit and Scratch. So,
So
what can you tell
yeah,
about
I have
that?
used it. I have used it up until the lowest second grade. The only thing is that with second grade, you have to make the connection for them. But everything else, once the connections are there, you can actually show them and use them the basic blocks, the happy, the sad, the little faces, using a lot of faces. It's just giving them the opportunity to be able to know the sequences. So that's one of the things that I've used a lot from second grade, and then we progress over time. But second is the lowest. I am taking the challenge to try to push it all the way to kinder next year, just because I want to see if we can do something with it, but not sure yet.
Yes, me too. I work with 5 to 6 years old students, but I use it with a lot of physical computing stuff that we made before, like a piano on the ground that they can play with their feet, and the steering wheels that I told Mahmoud that we can make. Trying to get them to know that what they create in the screen, they can use it on the real world too. So that's what we were trying to do with those younger students, and making stuff with them. You know, we help them with the programming and with the connection, as you said, but where they were using it already from very young age.
So we want to give you a little bit of time to just kind of work on it and seeing your work if you have anything on in the studio. So if you haven't had time to process, because I know we're going fast, I want to give you a little bit of time to process. Hopefully we didn't lose anyone. And that you're and that for you to just test things out, try connecting your microbit. If you're able to connect your microbit, go ahead and try to play with the video sensing or with some of the button press. And let us know in the chat if you're actually working on something, and we can actually look at in the studio.
A lot of
I
people
don't see anything in the studio.
a lot of people are saying that they love the music of your game.
Oh, it's on there, so you can pull it out from the, and it's actually not mine. It's actually I pulled it from another project. I don't see anything on the studio, so I'm just since we can't see people, I'm wondering if anyone is trying things. If we can hear and see in the chat if anybody's trying new things or.
Hold on,
We
James,
did have a question in the chat from Celine Hidalgo. She's asking, I worked with Learning Machine this year and I could not make it work together with Scratch, Microbit, and AI. Do we know anything about any developments for that or any support?
When you talk about Learning Machine, are we talking about machine learning for kids?
So I'm not certain. I was reading her question verbatim. So Celine Hidalgo, if you're there and you'd like to clarify, please feel free to put some information in the chat.
I have followed several tutorials for that. There are a couple of web pages working on it, and it worked like voice recognition and stuff like that. But I don't remember right now. I can share that because I don't have it here. Because
Okay.
I Google and then I found something on chats on some Facebook and WhatsApp groups, and I tried them and they work. One of them were really complicated and it was doesn't work very good, but a couple of other ideas that I found work very good with the microbits, even with the microphone. So I don't know, maybe this person found some of the pages that doesn't work, but there are several other pages that I mean we have to Google and join on some groups, discussion groups, and
So so let
you
me
will find
actually
some.
share it. Yeah, let me actually share with everybody because I was waiting for the rest, but let me actually wait for this. I'm
Uh,
gonna move you here. So at the end of our presentation, we have added several things that you can do with Microbit and Scratch. Um, and then after the Microbit and Scratch Studios, there's some links there where you can use Microbit and Scratch in like Teachable Machine and Text Classifier, Speech to Text, some AI. I'm doing a lot of research to try to use Microbit with AI, in especially with Scratch. So having both of them. So there's still a lot of work going out there. But if you use those type of applications, so machine learning for kids, for example, or teachable machine, you can start to pull some of that information out towards Scratch and then use it towards the Microbit. Unfortunately, the things that are so far is very limited to the blocks we have right now with
yes,
Microbit. So in Scratch, so we're hoping that the developers in Scratch will add more blocks to it, or if we can actually develop some more blocks so we can have things happening, a little bit more with it. And if any of the participants have any more ideas, would be great. But so those are the things that I've been working on with AI. Machine for learning for kids, it does work well with Scratch, but it's their own Scratch version. So you can't just go in and add the blocks here. I also added that teachable machine is one that it works, that is also pretty interesting about how it's working.
there are projects in the studio. There's one from Daniel and Joel. Joelson.
I don't see,
Oh,
Perhaps try
oh,
refreshing. I
I
also
did,
sent you the
but,
link,
there's.
yes, for the one from.
oh, there we
Oh,
go.
there they
There you
are.
go. There we go. Yay.
Okay, so Daniel, do you want to walk us through? Tell me which one should I press first?
How about the one of the watch? Hora no me creo. That's Portuguese.
This one?
Joelson Alves.
Yeah, let me
Let's
open it
see
up.
what let's see what that does. Clic no reloj para ver hora. Yes, it's Portuguese. Great.
Okay, so I'm gonna
Okay.
press on the flag. Seems like my computer's starting to light a little bit.
Okay, but I think you have to open it so you can connect the microbit to it
Oh, that's right. You're right.
and
Okay, so
close the
let me see
and
inside.
close the other project you have. That's
Actually, I don't
for
need to close it. I just need to disconnect it.
this is important. If you have a Scratch project open with microbit and then you open another one, you have to disconnect the first one so you can use your microbit on the new project. That's a common issue too that you have to
Okay,
check every
so
time.
what is this supposed to do? I'm gonna click on it.
Let me see the code. I think that you're going to see the time, the microbit display. Oh, can you close the scratch the from the bottom, the show, the download ribbon that you have there because it's consuming a little bit of space of your screen.
Oh, this one.
Yes, so you can see it bigger because people is saying that.
Oh,
Okay, I think
when shaken. Oh, I see it. When shaken, it gives me that time.
under microbit you see the time.
When I shake it, it gives me 1, 2, yeah, 12, 10. It
Let me
tells me
check
12,
the.
10.
Okay, Joel, there's that project that you shared. It's a great idea. What can you do with your students with this time and microbit? Let us know what you think in the chat.
And thank you, Joel. Is it Joel? Thank you. That's a pretty very cool studio project.
Then we have another from Daniel. Oh, it looked like the game that you did. You did. Is it in French, Daniel? Let's see that new project from the studio.
Getting there. My computer is lagging a lot right now.
Too many screens open.
Daniel?
Yes, that one. Since we have a Portuguese example now, it seems this come from France.
Can somebody put, I see Vicky asking for the studio. Can somebody
no,
put the link in the chat, please?
Yes, I'm doing it. There is.
Connect. Let me connect the mic a bit here.
Okay, the slides are on the swap card. When you enter the swap card and are exploring white walls and high ceilings with scratch post microwave, there is a link for the slides. And we already shared this to as Portuguese. Oh, yes, Purdue. I thought it was French.
Okay, so that one, it tells me what happens when clicked.
Use ABMB to move. When click forever, once in.
I saw the dinosaur opening its mouth.
The buttons of your microwave, button A and button B to move.
I'm clicking on it, they're not moving.
Select the paddle, the green paddle on the bottom to see the code. No, down there, the sprite. Button A, button B, no, the code is right.
Should work.
Line, dinosaur.
It opens its mouth, it goes straight. I think it's missing the broadcast.
If you know what, in this, can you show please the paddle code? That one. We have a special code in the microwave section for the buttons. So it works better if you use the when a button press from the microwave section instead of using a forever. The first one there, it's the same that instead of using the forever and an if, sometimes it happens that it has some kind of lag recognizing the buttons when you do that kind of code. So if you're going to use the buttons, it's better to use the button press block from the microbit section. It should work. I mean, it's the code is right, it's correct, but sometimes it does this kind of issues.
Yeah, I had a problem with the ping pong one. I had a problem at the beginning because it was broadcasting. It was thinking that it was fine. It was over right away. So we would just have to look at the code. And I'm noticing that that might be the case.
The code is right,
when you press, it goes straight into the next one.
So you said that your computer is lagging a little bit. So that happens if your computer is slow, then the forever loop is going to execute slow. And then when you press the buttons of the microbit, they are not going to respond fast enough. So that's why it's better to use the button press block. Especially when you are working like with iPads or Chromebooks that they are slower and they don't have great processing power. Then sometimes the loops lags a little bit and it doesn't work like it's smooth.
So is there another one that we want to show? We're getting close to time.
I don't see any more on them.
Also, as a follow-up regarding the machine learning question from earlier, Hernan Galarzi says, perhaps it refers to the machine learning for kids.co.uk site.
Yes, yes, that's the one that I thought they were referring to, the machine learning
Rudy,
for kids. That one does have an extension.
Sorry, Rudy, we have a new project. Can you refresh your studio, please?
Sure.
There's
Yes.
from
And do you
Visions by
mind
Vicky.
saying what you said about machine learning? Could you say that again, please, a little bit more slowly?
Yes, so machine learning for kids, we'll put that on there too. That one that does have its own Scratch 3.0 blocks, and it does work well. That's the one that I was talking about, that it has very limited, is limited not because of machine learning, but it's limited because of the blocks we have with microbit. So my hope is that we have more blocks with microbit in Scratch that we'll be able to do a lot more with it. For example, I would like it one block that would say move servo, or move something else, or collect data, things like that.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're running out of time on this. So I do want to get back to this. We won't have time to show the rest of the studio ones, but just please keep adding on the studio. And I apologize for those of you who were not able to connect. You can actually contact us and we can probably support you on that. So let me go back because we're running out of time.
Thanks, Erlan. I heard that you said that was the problem with the Daniel project with the red line. Thank you. It's in the chat.
Thank you. Okay, so we want to thank you. I want to thank our spotlight guests. Thank you so much for participating with us. To those of you who are here with us, also thank you so much for participating as well. We know that there is there's glitches around. It's hard to do this on Zoom, so it's easier for us to work with you in person. But unfortunately, we're doing this in Zoom. So we just want to thank you for this. And if you have any questions, here are our contacts. You can follow us on Twitter as well. And anything we can support you on and do it a lot slower, we can talk with you about this. So thank you so much. Daniel, anything you want to say?
Yes, please take note of our contact. I mean, we are microbit champions from the Microbit Foundation, and we would love to help in any ideas, any trouble you have using microbit with Scratch, especially for teachers using it with their kids. So we'll love to help you. Just reach out and we will do it. Oh, we will do it. I mean, that's what we do. Trying to help students to spread the word, to spread the usage of microbit and Scratch with anyone that we can reach, and anyone who wants to do it.
Thank you. So and then there's the other resources are at the end. Any resources we have. We also have the studio. I will actually put the studio again here at the end, so that way you have the link for the studio. So that way you can have all of these things. Test it out, try it out. Tweet if you want anything that you've tried out, and just tag us on there, and or any things that you want to ask us by email, just go ahead and write to us. Thank you so much for today.
Thank you.